I just don't know how to transfer my style into something that fits and flatters my body. Another one. I mean, really, we've got a bit of a theme going today. So you can see these are really common issues. So when we're thinking, it's like, if you think you know your style, then how do I transfer that into what fits and flatters my body? So really, as I mentioned before, so part of it is knowing what works for your body. So when you've understood your body shape, body proportions, and body variations, you know what shapes and styles you are looking for. And then it's thinking about, okay, so for me, as someone with an H-shaped body, I want my waist to be fairly free of detail. I want to draw attention up above the bust because I don't want any waist detail in me. But because I'm reasonably tall, I can draw attention kind of below the mid-thigh. So I can have detail up high, detail down low, but pretty bland through the middle. That's the first thing. So it's like, where's your, what I call your party zone, so your interesting zone, and where are your boring zones, where you keep them free of detail. So that is, body shape will tell you that, and body variations and proportions will tell you that as well. Then we've got to think about, where do I put my verticals and my horizontals? So if I have got, we want to use horizontals broaden, but they also balance. So where do I put them? Now, thinking about garments, there are a lot of horizontals in garments. Every, hem, whether it's a sleeve hem, whether it's the hem of a waist or a jacket or a skirt or a dress or shorts or a pair of cropped pants, they have all got hems on them. So when we're thinking about, well, where do I put my hems? Most hems are horizontal lines. And this is what, we want to think about where those horizontal lines go. Because horizontal lines can broaden, they also draw attention, because we are always looking for the horizon, because it gives us balance. So we notice horizontal lines before we notice other lines. So therefore, we want to be careful about where we put these horizontals. So where do those hems go? So this comes down to your proportions, but also we want to think about what I call one of my 3 rules of horizontal lines, which is never put a horizontal on a wide point unless you want to make it look wider. So I don't put my tops to end at my non-existent waist, because it just makes my waist look wider, which is why I don't put belts on it, unless I've got a lot of blousing over the top, so it's not really distinguishable. So I want to think about, where do I end my hems? Never on the wide points of my calves, never on the wide points of my thighs, never on the, like all those things. So think about, where do I put my sleeve hems? Well, they're not on the widest point of my arm, they're on narrower points of my arms. So where are those horizontals going? Now, if I have a very small horizontal, such as I've got a really defined waist, then I'll put a horizontal there, because what it's going to do is say, look at this little horizontal, it's defined and it's small. And so that's where we can use them. And we can also use horizontals to balance, which is why if you are, say, an A or a pear shape, you're using horizontal lines up here to balance your hips. Or you'll be looking for things like flared or bootleg pants, because that also helps to balance your hips out, creates balance between those areas. So we can use horizontals to balance as well. Or if you're a V shape, which is the opposite way round, where we've got the broader shoulders, we'll put the horizontal lines, we'll end our tops around our hips. We'll put those horizontal lines there because it balances out the shoulders. So thinking about, where do I put my horizontals, and then where do I put my verticals? So verticals, elongate and slim. So if I want to slim an area down, I will put verticals on it. If I want to make an area appear longer, I will put verticals on it. So this relates to body proportions as well as body shape. So if I want to slim down my torso, this is why something like a jacket is great. It creates horizontal lines through my body. If I say want to make my legs look longer, I'll be looking for vertical details in my trousers or in my skirts to elongate my legs. So there's lots of things we need to learn about our body. And then once we know those things, where do the horizontals go? The verticals, where does the detail? Where are my focal points? Then it's really easy to start going, well, do I want to do it in a floral or a leopard print? What kind of colors do I like? What kind of fabrics do I like? This is kind of easy once we've got that, style fundamental basics sorted out. But if we don't have that education, generally everybody who is lost and feeling alone is because they do not have the style education they need. They don't have the knowledge, and they don't realize that there's actually a science behind style, which is why they're struggling. And so this is why I'm like here and I've written thousands of blog posts and why I created my online programs, because I'm here to give you the best style education so you can stop feeling stressed, so you can have more confidence and you can feel great going about your day and knowing that, you know, it's less stressful and you don't stress all the time and about what to wear and if it's actually working for you. That is what I'm here for. It is my mission and passion in life to, you know, educate as many women as possible in understanding their style so that they do feel empowered when they're shopping and they do feel confident, because I just love it so much when women tell me how they went shopping and they came home empty-handed. Now, at the time, they may think, they're like, you know, they go, it's really hard. And I go, that's fantastic. That means you become empowered and it means you've become discerning because you know what works for you now. And you know there was nothing out there on the day that you went shopping that you should come home empty-handed. And that is a win in my books, because it means you are no longer bringing stuff into your wardrobe that's going to sit there and mock you and make you feel guilty for have spent, you know, money on something that doesn't work. Instead, you've got that money for the next time you go shopping. And the thing is, fashion's changed so fast. There's always something new coming out. So just because today wasn't a good shopping day doesn't mean next week's not going to be. So hopefully that helps you. I see, you know, lots of questions coming through that are very, very similar. So I know at midlife, it is often a time of reassessment and it's a really great time to do it. But, you know, so many women, I think, gosh, you know, wish I'd done it when I was younger, because then I'd have had this knowledge rather than going through life and making all these mistakes. So thank you so much for your questions. Thank you so much for watching. I'm here to help you. I want to give you the assistance to get your style education. So please contact me if you've got any questions, or I'd love to see you in my programs to give you that specific professional advice that you deserve. Bye for now.